So here's a quick little list to remind you of some of the triggers you may not know about that can cause a hot flash to start. And we want to avoid them even starting because, as you know, once they start, it's really hard for them to stop until they've kind of gone through the flushing process. So number one, alcohol. We want to reduce or eliminate alcohol as much as we can. Alcohol is so heating to the liver, and when our liver is hot, it needs a way to kind of flush out some heat. And for a lot of women, this happens in the form of a hot flash. Number two, you want to reduce the amount of spicy food in your diet. Spicy food, even though for some it tastes delicious, internally it's causing inflammation, and again, your liver to heat up. It's going to look for ways to get your body's going to try and come back into balance after the spicy food to release the heat. And so it's going to have a hot flash. There's other ways your body tries to come back into balance if it's too hot. Mainly it will happen through the skin, whether it's rashes or rosacea or eczema, psoriasis, those types of things. Another way is through emotions. If you're feeling hot, typically you're going to feel irritated and frustrated. So there's many ways your body comes back into balance if it's too hot. Another trigger that will happen, that will cause a hot flash to happen, is emotional stress. This was the most important one for me to work on, and honestly it was the hardest because it's hard to control your emotions when something's really bothering you or you feel stressed or angry. But I know the best thing that I've done for my mental and emotional and physical health is to really, really become aware of what happens when I feel stress. And for me, I felt it. I was hot, I was irritated, and a hot flash would no doubt follow. So for me, making a priority to reduce my stress and to make mindful, aware decisions on how I want to react in any situation, again, not easy, it really made a big difference. Now, eating processed foods can also trigger a hot flash. Processed foods, as we know, are really hard to digest. Anything that's hard to digest creates toxins in our body, and these toxins are heating. And the heat will eventually try and find a way out. So I've had so many women, when they get rid of the majority of the processed foods in their diet, they have no more hot flashes. They didn't have to take any herbs or any supplements. It's these little things that add up to a big change in our hormonal balance. Now, if you're having hot flashes at nighttime, in the middle of the night, it could be that you're eating too late at night, your dinner's too late, and it didn't have enough time to digest before bed, or the food is too heavy. And again, it's not able to fully digest before we fall asleep. Because if we fall asleep with food still in the digestive process, it just creates heat in our body and we'll wake up with either night sweats or a hot flash. And the final trigger that may not be as obvious is caffeine and sugar. Now, I know this is hard to hear. Sugar is inflammatory to the body. Things like maple syrup and honey, those natural forms of sugar are much better. But even for some, that can also trigger because your blood sugar changes. Now, the caffeine is stimulating to your nervous system, and for some, this creates heat. Not everyone, but for most women, the caffeine isn't helping the hot flashes. So there's a quick list just for you to kind of take check in your mind of maybe what you could change, and hopefully that will help you reduce or eliminate your hot flashes altogether.